Hello everyone, my name is Riley and this is the RDW Glass YouTube channel. Please be sure to tune in every single Tuesday for new glass blowing content. Today in this video is a tool talk. We're going to be going over shears. I was asked for an explanation about my logo. So this is a Red Max torch. It's the torch that I use. You can see? Oh well, I guess it's better view from that way. Okay. My initials are RDW, okay? So that is a Red Max, so that counts as the R, and it kind of has like an ever so slight R flow somehow or another. That D, that's a triangle. It's always watching. But we're burning right through it with the R, which is perfect. And then this W, that's like a Wu-Tang W, because I really fuck with old school rap songs. So we got R, D, W. The Red Max, the All CNI, and the Wu-Tang W. And also kind of gives like a Batman aspect to it. And then glass. This eyeball situation was one of the first pendants that I ever made. I made like a milli. I was taught how to make an eyeball milli. And then I just put a bunch of my eyeball millis on this one block. And then I did like a weird horn coming off of it. But it looked like a G. So I kept that as my G and then LASS, glass. So RDW glass. Got some clouds, got some stars, and some cool colors to kind of go with the flow of my art because it's kind of like up in the clouds. Jacks, those look like tweezers. They do, don't they? But check this out. These are the average size of the tweezers, right? The average span. You see how they're about the same? We'll touch them together. You can see they're about the same. And then let's show these are about the same. Okay, the length in between the two, the width of it. You see, they're all about the same. Now the cool thing about jacks is they're open to like twice the size of that. Literally fit. Double this up, you fit. Oh snap! They fit two of them in there. So that's the point of the jacks. Is if you were to stick this in a tube and let it go, how wide would it open? It would open that wide, and that is the case for all of the tweezers. It would only open up that wide. Okay, so the jacks, that's where those come in handy. You put this into a tube and you let that release, that'll be once again twice the size of the tweezers. Now we're going to show you real quick this listed on the Mountain Glass 2021 to 2022 product guide right here. I know I'm going to get talked or something. Someone's going to say something about the name of it. They are listed as what? Tweezers. And they're listed for $24. They're called high quality flat tweezers. Okay? But, as we talked about, they're not tweezers. They're more like the jacks, which you can see that the price of jacks are insane. But that's because those are actually huge. They're like twice the width of the shears that we have here. Or not shears, what am I talking about? Yeah, they're twice the size of these jacks. Just trailed off for a second. So, you gotta think about if you're working with big glass, like full-size tubes, and you're making big rigs and stuff all the time, then eventually that becomes worth it. But if you're just, getting started, or I've been doing it for years and these have never failed me. These are actually my friend KJ's. He blows glass here, so whenever I need the jacks, they're just right in the corner, so I'll grab them and use them. $25, and it's a dope tool. Eventually I want to do this video that's the top 10 tools that I use, or maybe just like the top tools. No, you should probably number it. Like top 10 tools that I use in glass blowing. But as I've said in like some past tool talks, I want to cover every single tool before I do a video on the best tools. So, or before I do a video on my favorite tools, not the best tools, because they're all very useful. And I've covered the ones that I use the most right off the bat. Like we've covered brass reamers, we've covered normal tweezers, we've covered brass and graphite reamers, we've covered the marble molds, we've covered the joint grinding, the paddles, I think. We've covered a lot. Last week we covered the tool rests that you see always on my table being used in every single video because the glass is sitting up there. And I actually had the pleasure of going over to my friend Sarah Daly's house and glass blowing there. And that was the first time I was glass blowing over at their house. Usually I just hang out over there. But I was glass blowing and I didn't realize that they had a plastic table. So when I was glass blowing and I just would set my tool down, all of a sudden it started smoking and I was like, oh shit. But she had a tool rest, so I was able to just put my tool up like that. And it didn't burn the table. Because sometimes you don't realize, like, this is a luxury of having a metal table, especially with people. There's people who only sell their glass at events, and some of those events they set up a table there. And what type of table are they going to set up? They set up the fold out plastic table. They set that up and they start glass blowing. Well, you're going to need tool rests, or else everything you put down is going to burn your plastic table. That's the cool perk of having a huge graphite pad here too. I mean, I just like that because if I press like a rig down, it's not pressing it on the metal table, it's pressing it on something that's flat. I actually have two, one here and one here. See the separation in between. Alright, what's this video about? Jacks. Alright, let's get a good up view. So what we're going to do real quick, other than explaining what the jacks are, how they work that we just did, and the pricing, I'm just going to show you them in use real quick. Yeah. Get all this stuff out the way. Alright. Remember to have proper ventilation. Now we're going to cover a few different things again. So I was asked about ventilation, like about people getting like proper vent hoods and all like the special stuff off of Mountain Glass or anywhere, Amazon, wherever you end up buying it. So what I did is I made the workshop, I cut a hole in the wall, and then I bought a fan from Home Depot. So this is just a fan from Home Depot right in front of me, and that does exactly what I need it to. In my opinion, I've been doing this for years, and there's really no need for more than anything than this, unless you're working on stuff that's bigger than I am working. Like, I'm just working on slides most of the time, maybe some small rigs here and there and pendants, so I don't need a ventilation fan above me and all this stuff. This is perfect. And we've also talked about how, because my studio is built at an angle, there will be fumes that get trapped because they go up. So the positive behind that is if you have one fan, that's perfect. I have two, so I could turn this bad boy on too and close the door, and all the air would get sucked through the windows that I have, and that's it. And you can, if you turn this off, and we have this, we'll turn this up. Watch the fan. See how it immediately started turning the opposite way? That's because now air is coming in. So just with shutting the door, we have air coming through here and right out there, which means all of the air is just going to be flowing in and out. And that's the cool thing about having the door on the opposite side, is it literally pulls the air from over there and right out, and then it just keeps the cycle going and going and going. So there's really no need to have anything more than a hole in your wall with a fan. And then seal that bad boy up. Get a piece of metal, cut it, and now you have a cool vent cover to put stickers all over. You got my favorite stuff, like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Cheech and Chong, you got the Star Wars stuff. This is from a show called What We Do in the Shadows. It's about vampires. That's it. Bam! Jacks, 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 jacks. Alright. Stay hydrated. Alright. Propane. We're going to work with a bigger tube than the 12 mil that we're usually using. So we'll start it a little further back with the high propane flame. And you can see I'm just slowly playing with the oxygen to make the flame more oxidized. You can also see that instead of just the flame, now it's getting to a bushy flame, and it's coating the glass with black soot, which is just the effect of the ash building up out of the air. Look at that. See how it's coated in black now? See, I'm just playing with the oxygen over here a little bit more. Now it's a more direct flame instead of super bushy, and now we're really coated in that black soot. And you'll see the soot burn off as we get to the proper heat. The point of what we're doing now is to open this tube ever so slightly with our just grabbing some material off, and then the point will be to open it up with the jacks. That way we can showcase a little bit of what the jacks are about. Sometimes you have to blow to pop a hole. Sometimes you can just pull off enough material to where you open it up. Alright, let's get these jacks into play. A lot of times what's cool with the soot is if the piece cracks, the soot will fill it in, and then it'll kind of like help cure the crack. You can see we have that little hole there, and so you can squeeze these in here and put them in and let it open slowly. Look at that. And then we can go even wider, so let's heat it up, and I'll try to get more of a straight on view instead of the sideways this time. Even let it close a little bit to kind of re-showcase. And all you gotta do is just let go of the pressure that you were holding on there. Pretty cool. We can get it open to all the way this wide, so we just heat this up here. To make a pretty cool mouthpiece or something. Nice squeaking. You can rub your tools on some beeswax. You see we have some beeswax here? And with that, that'll stop that squeaking noise. You see it just glides in there. Got a little squeak at the end. Yeah, beeswax. They sell beeswax on Mountain Glass and Lampwork Supply. Any AVR, anywhere you can buy like glass supplies, they usually sell beeswax. Just playing with the jacks. You can see you can open up glass with jacks. That's the huge point about them. That's the big whoop. Let's put this. I'm going to put this in the kiln and do something with it. Probably make a hand pipe out of it, close it off, put some dots on it or something. that is our video covering the tool jacks, any jacks. I'm just gonna call it a tool talk about jacks because that's what this tool talk was about. It's about a tool that you put in and let loose so it opens up, and that creates, we can open up bigger tubing, or we can open up tubing as wide as this lets us. And like we've seen, there's bigger, more expensive jacks for people who need them. So mountainglass.com will have those available. And these are the ones we use today. High quality flat tweezers, $24. Alright, hope everybody learned something. Maybe inspired to open some tubing up, do something with it. And that is the Tool Talk about jacks. Stay safe, stay lifted, happy melting. Peace.